watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Roper Cup, absolutely supremely important. Two of the greatest schools in Jamaica, meeting, sharing fellowship, always showing the current generation that you can be great rivals off the field, but even better rivals on it, you know. And it's really about us always showing the generations, Georgians, KC, Fortis. It's all about us giving back, all of us being mentors through sports. We always try our best to impart onto the boys values for life. So someone like myself, someone like the KC Old Boys, I'm clearly representing the better side of North Street. And we're really, really close across the road, so might as well continue the tradition and go forward.
The rivalry between KC and St. George's College has been around way longer than I have. Days of Sabina Park, which was kind of in between both schools, is where the Royal Battle of North Street always took place. Over time, it lost a little of its flair, but easily we're getting back to those days now. As you see, the interest has grown significantly over the past few years. It is always important that there be harmony between the two schools. This has not always been the case over the years. The Roper Cup is a fun day. The Roper Cup is the day that St. George's College and Kingston College get to have fun in the sun with a competitive edge. It is always a good day. The Manning Cup match is always seen as the feature for the day, although I think the over 35s tend to have more of a competition going on. All the matches, it has been expanded now to include also our under 14 and under 16 teams, so it's an entire day of football. I don't think there are any two schools in the country that can boast the type of rivalry that Kingston College and St. George's College, being only 100 meters apart, can boast. It is always good competition, it is always fun, not only for the footballers but for us, the old boys, as well.
It is indeed my honor and my pleasure to welcome you to this media launch of Roper Cup 2019. This competition between Kingston College and St. George's College, North Street rivals and friends. With Kingston College hosting this year, a very special welcome to my colleagues from across the road. At this time though, I would like to call upon Mr. Stuart Jacobs, who is the president of the Kingston College PTA, to bring greetings from the Fortis family to everyone here.
A very good morning. It is once again a pleasure to stand there and bring greetings on behalf of KC to usher in another Roper Cup. In total, 37 Manning Cup have been won between Kingston College and St. George's College, 37. When you look at it, a quick math, it's close to a third of all the Manning Cups that have been played. And it is also, it's going to be somewhat of a phenomenon on Saturday because the two finalists of last year's Manning Cup will be playing, basically opening the football season. Because with all of the other cups that have gone on over the summer, it is the Roper Cup that really kicks off the schoolboy football in Jamaica. No other event. I look around and I see people who have worked very hard and they have extended themselves as parents at both schools. Look at Mr. Latour, Donovan Jermaine, even Patrick Dallas. A lot of us, even Patrick Dallas, Dr. Foot, extended ourselves as parents. And it is events such as these that we live for. We live for these moments because it is where we sit and watch our youngsters do the things that God has entrusted on them, which is called talent. Also, in order for them to do it, they would have to have coaches who we as parents trust to hone these talents. And by extension, a school will send them to have it happen. It just so happened that Father Jack Roper, a Jesuit priest, coach at St. George's College, did extremely well and carried George's to a couple championship, and that school and KC came together and said, let's recognize him. And I asked it last year, and I'm going to challenge my Georgians to find, I did find someone who is still alive, who is related to Father Jack Roper, because posthumously, I think he should be honored next year when Georges host it. Because we use his name every year, and a lot of people, I know a lot of the players who are playing don't know who Father Jack Roper is. Father Jack Roper was a wonderful human being and did quite a bit at St. George's College, and for football in Jamaica, and for North Street. And speaking of North Street, I would like for us to do some sort of research, somewhat, to see which street in this country or anywhere else has produced the amount of sportsmen and superstars, both academia and on the track and on the field, than North Street. Less than 200 meters apart. And Kingston College and St. George's College have contributed so much to the landscape of this country. It's unbelievable. We will forever be grateful to St. George's College. And Kingston College, are speaking from the KC family, we will forever be grateful to St. George's College. Because out of St. George's College and the teaching of the Jesuits there, Bishop Gibson was honed and developed. But I guess after going to George's for 8 years, 7 years, you realize that Jamaica really needed another school, a real school. But on a serious note, we are always neighbors, we're always brothers, and we'll never ever forget what St. George's College has done for us. The Roper Cup does that each year. The Roper Cup takes us back in time. The Roper Cup brings us to a humility, a humble state, that regardless of the rivalry that we will have in the next couple of months for the Manning Cup, we will meet on a day and have friendly rivalry, and both schools will look at each other, the under 16, the under 14, and the present Manning Cup, and under 25 and over 35, and look at the past and enjoy it and appreciate it, and look at what is happening now, and hope that two schools will once again be in the finals of the Manning Cup. I wish for both schools all the best. I wish for the Roper Cup committee all the best, and from the parents of KC and the KC family, we are more than happy to host you on the day and look forward to a wonderful event. I thank you.
Principal sends her apologies. Unfortunately, she was unable to attend. Boy, so far so good. We've had such great deliveries from the Fortis brethren, so we need to add some color to the proceedings right now. Right, so this year is an important year for St. George's. We celebrate 170 years of existence of our schools. I mean, Casey should know that very well, because Casey is half as young and half as good. So you should know that it's 170 years for us, you know. Now, also, on October the 18th, we celebrate our Monsignor Gladstone Wilson Awards. And for those of you who don't know, Monsignor Gladstone Wilson was, at the time of his being around on earth, one of the 7 most learned persons in the world, a Jamaican, a man of North Street, yeah? Definitely, we need to always celebrate that. So it is important, as Brother Jacob said, well, he said that, you know, we are going to be in the final, you know, so we hope that you come join us again like last year. I mean, so ladies and gentlemen, we always look forward to Roper Cup. It's a teaching moment for us where we can always show the young men that regardless of the banter, regardless of whatever we may say along the way, it really is about friendly rivalry and camaraderie. We know that persons traditionally don't attend St. George's College, don't attend KC, but they say, boy, KC is them side or George is them side. Because they wish they could be like us. They want to be a part of us, so we definitely look forward to Roper Cup to continually show the wider Jamaica what it is to be, a man for others, never yielding, always being a Jamaican and living forward. That's a true testament to what we should do. So I thank you for having us. I thank you for being great hosts, of course. The Roper Cup is on top of our cabinet over by St. George's. I'll dust it off a bit and I'll put it back after the matches on the Saturday. All right, so cheers to all.
This bug of fake news has got to Jamaica. It has got here because if the Roper Cup trophy is at St. George's, when I leave here, I need to stop at Halfway Tree Police Station. But I think what might have happened, I remember there's a time, I think it was 2 years ago, we shared the trophy. And it was agreed that St. George's would keep it for 6 months and KC for 6 months. We said to George's, since we know that next year we're going to take it anywhere, so George's, please, you can keep it for the first 6 months. Bring it to us, right? And what has happened is that they did not bring it back, but I would have thought that Bishop Gibson, just Bishop Gibson's legacy, would have spared you from speaking like that this morning. Well, anyway, please polish it off. Yes, thank you. Right. And now, to bring greetings and a message from the principal of Kingston College, representing here this morning is Mr. Ainsworth Walker, our vice principal.
Good morning, all. Coming from the other side of North Street, I think I'm in a very good position to bring the message of Kingston College that will balance the rivalry that will make us all equal. You get that? It is indeed our hope that we will retain the excellent performance bestowed upon us from Bishop Gibson's days into today's finals. And so from the family of Kingston College, and especially the principal, it is our hope that this year will be no different from next year. And so, when the dust is settled and the trophy is returned from Roper Cup to Manning Cup, then Mr. Latour, you will have nothing to fear. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the principal of Kingston College, teachers, staff, and students, we're looking forward to a game that will bring us together and a future that we will all talk about. Thank you.
And now may I call upon the president of the St. George's College Old Boys Association to bring his greetings.
Thank you, Dr. Lalas. Distinguished Fortis and my St. George's College brethren, good morning. This never gets boring. Every year we gather for the Roper Cup. It is fun, it is very serious rivalry, and I think Dr. Dallas made a very bold statement last year, which, by the grace of God, came true. The collaboration between KC and St. George's College. Yes, Dr. Dallas? Yes, sir. Take a bow. Very bold at the time. Almost arrogant, I thought. Almost arrogant. However, like I said, it is what it is. After 32. But now that we've addressed the elephant in the room, now that the dust has settled, Roper Cup, year 1, KC and St. George's College. I think probably the first time ever that it would be considered a grudge match. Yes? So not that we don't always have excellent football and even more camaraderie. When KC hosts, for sure, refreshments are always on top. Of that we are sure. But more importantly, we've seen this year where the collaboration has expanded. I think this year, for the first time, we hosted a Labor Day project together as well, where we did the pedestrian crossings in front of both schools. So this is the type of camaraderie and harmony that we want everybody to emulate, because it really is important, given the ills that we see in our society today. So, Stadium East it is, Roper Cup for yet another year. It's almost cliche that we say we look forward to the camaraderie. And of course, this year in particular, Shantamoy, Nathaniel, Jaim. For this year in particular, extremely strong competition.
It is indeed a pleasure to be here. I'm asked to make a presentation on behalf of the President. One of the things I'm happy for is that on previous occasions, I was normally introduced as the President, but thank God it has been corrected that I'm in fact the Vice President. I'm a bit nostalgic in that when I look in the audience and I see Neville Oxford, it brings back great memories to me because I was much younger than Neville, as you can see. But the history of that year's Manning Cup team with Neville, John Parvis, Mouse Brown, Bola Morant, and the rest, it has been great joy to me. Because the rivalry from then was even strong and still strong. But ladies and gentlemen, after the match is over, we are great friends. And I really want to say to the youngsters now, please just remember that it is like that, and I want it to continue. Great rivalry on the field, but when the match is over, we are great friends. As I said, I was asked to deliver a message on behalf of the President, which goes like this. Last year, Roper Cup was a fantastic celebration for the North Street fans. It was a fantastic celebration of friendly rivalry and a feast of football talent, young and not so young talent. Of course, KC took home the Roper Cup. We know that Georgians are trying their utmost to regain the cup this year, but they can think again. However, Roper Cup will remain on the right side of North Street. His words. Once again, KC is pleased to the host of the Roper Cup. Thanks to our North Street brothers for hosting a great event last year. This year we will be at Stadium East, a fitting venue, especially for future match between the Manning Cup teams, a replay of last year's Manning Cup final. It is also a preview of this year's Super Cup, Walker Cup, and Manning Cup finals. After all, we are looking to keep them all at North Street. The executive of the Old Boys is pleased to host this year's Roper Cup celebrations that provides an opportunity to deepen bonds and collaboration with our North Street neighbors, with whom we have a great history of competition and collaboration. We continue to demonstrate our ability to be rivals and friends at the same time. Importantly, thanks to our sponsors, as without you, the event would not be possible. Thank you for your support and example. Roper Cup 2019 will be exciting and spectacular, and KCOB is proud to be at the helm of this amazing event. That is the message from the President of the Old Boys Association.
We have the under-14 match, Kingston College versus St. George's College. We also have the under-16 Kingston College versus St. George's. The under-35 and the over-35, of course, those have to be old boys because we're talking about Kingston College and St. George's. Then we have the feature match, which is the replay of last year Manning Cup final. The gates open at 9. We start the first match at 10. And we are going to run a tight ship this year. because we have decided that the last match, the feature match, must start at 4:30. Understand, the football program in both schools costs a lot of money. The football, the sports program in general. And this is always, most of it is carried by the alumni associations. And so we are trying to get this started at 4:30 so that we can finish the match in good time and everybody see a full 90 minutes of Kingston College Manning Cup team versus St. George's College. But at this time, I would like to call on Mr. Robert O'Sullivan to bring a message on behalf of the sponsors.
Thank you, Patrick. There are 4 main sponsors that I'd like to thank. One is Facial Oral Surgical Association. LASCO, they've donated iCool. Servicare Limited, and apologies for absence, Gary O'Sullivan was unable to make it. Now, just to let you know, Servicare is less than 200 meters across the road there, and it was started by a St. George's College old boy by the name of Gary O'Sullivan. Now, when I was 11 years old, a friend of my mother said, so one of your sons passed for an academic institution and the other a sporting institution. Well, after a few years in the 60s, I couldn't understand why they referred to St. George's as a sporting institution. You know, it is good that corporate Jamaica can come together and assist in the development of young boys. It is so important. As a Kingston College old boy, I feel it important that as we leave school, we try to give back. And this to me is a message to the young boys who are from St. George's College and also from Kingston College. Now, I grew up with a rivalry for over 7 years between my brother from St. George's College, and he felt that I owed him a debt of gratitude because Bishop Gibson founded Kingston College. I had to live with that. But I do have some gratitude. And we have to accept that both institutions are important in Jamaica. A lot of my friends come from St. George's College as well. And we get along fairly well. Now, the sponsor, Facial Oral Surgical Association, I understand that one of the members is also a Kingston College old boy. And one is a Georgian as well? Yes. So thank you for helping with the young ones. Now, LASCO, of course, is a competitor to Qualcare. But in the same way that St. George's College and Kingston College have friendly rivalry, it is the same between ourselves. Now, as Principal, it's a message from Principal Myrie, so correctly noted, extracurricular involvement, like football, go a far way in the development of young boys. It helps them not only in their physical development, but in their ability to analyze and come up with solutions. Now, in addition to that, I think it helps to build character, leadership, because at the end of the day, you want a well-rounded individual, not one who only goes to a sporting institution, but also academic. So again, on behalf of LASCO, Facial Oral Surgical Associates, Servicare and Qualcare, greetings, and all the best for the Europa Cup.
Being a part of this program is excellent for us because we're all about youth development, growth, and so we're all about going out, helping youths make their dreams come true and everything. And I mean, we're a fan of what KC has been doing, what St. George's has been doing with football and helping the young men do something with their lives. So we're all about helping. So we're here to sponsor.
for this Roper Cup, we want to make sure that everybody, their nutrition status is up and they're feeling fit as a fiddle. So just to make sure that they have no pains or no aches, we have our VitaloFlex will be, of course, persons will be getting, so to ease the pain, whatever it is from a sprain, whether it be just muscle spasms, they'll be able to utilize our VitaloFlex for that. No excessive burning, that's a lot of persons complain about, but they'll still get that nice feel and the relief from the pain, as well as our Interest Nutrition Shake. So we make sure that their nutrition status is up. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that everybody, they play well and their bodies are able to, you know, reflect everything that they have been consuming. So Interest being the nutrition shake of choice is for athletes for this Roper Cup. So their nutrition up, health up, energy up, everything up. All of it, Interest.
Why have we supported the Roper Cup over the years? It's a mixture of values that we endorse, traditional values. For one, tradition. It's the oldest running rivalry between schoolboys, the football, started in 1963. And it's important for us to recognize traditional values with what all that is happening around us. Virtue, honesty, truth and justice. Apart from the good quality football that is played, those two institutions from North Street, Kingston College and St. George's, we uphold those ideals, and over the years we have tried to transmit those qualities to the students coming in and out. So in addition to good quality football, which others are trying to emulate, but we are the originators and we'll always be the leaders. But in addition to good football and healthy sporting rivalry, we transmit those values which we hope will further itself into the wider society and build a good society.